Hey there. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
y'all. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Look, we are here today, of course, for our next episode of Let's Chit Chat About Money. I have my sis on the other side there, Dr. Renee.
Oh,
How you
well,
doing today, Dr. Renee?
I'm doing okay. How are you today?
Good, good.
Good.
You look good.
Well,
Look
thank
like
you.
a
So
little
do
snack
you.
over there.
Okay. Well, thank you. Some a little fall snack.
So yeah, and of course I'm Dr. Vernica, and look, we want to talk to y'all about a little something different today. So I know, of course, I'm a little older. When I was younger, I played games, a little something simple, a little Nintendo, whatever else. Of course, the kids nowadays they play more high-tech games, and so there's a game that stood out to me for this episode. And now, me personally, I have never played this, but I have seen the kids talk about it. So sis, have you heard the game Mortal Kombat?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes. I've never played it, but I've heard of it.
Okay, do you know the background behind it a little bit? Do you know
Mm,
what the game is probably about?
I do not.
Okay,
I'm going to learn
so
something today.
let me fill you in on like a little, just a little something, something. So, Mortal Kombat, if you can think about it, it is a game to the death. And you face all these different opponents to finally get to whoever the head honcho is. And you have to fight, like it is a fight to the death.
Mm,
So, today's topic is about the financial Mortal Kombat. And so we want to make sure that you all are ready. And so the question is, when the fight of your life comes, will you and your family be ready? And so that's what we're here today to kind of get into. Now, I kind of want to set the scene a little bit. So think of, let's say we're out here in kind of desert country. If you can picture a Roman Colosseum, if you can follow me here.
mhm.
Let's say if you think about back in the day in the Middle Ages, people would just kind of file in and they would look forward to these battles where literally you fought until one person, died or until the last person was standing. And so financially, we have some opponents that are coming at us every single day, whether we realize it or not. So we need to financially get ready for this financial Mortal Kombat. So think about it. All right, I need everybody to put yourselves there. You're in this Roman Colosseum. You are the challenger for today. So people are here to see you and they are cheering you on. But the other side has its best opponents waiting for you, and you have to go through each opponent. If one of these opponents gets you, you're out. So we're going to play a little game today, and I'm going to ask Dr. Renee some questions, and we're just going to kind of see how she would fare in this financial quarter comeback game. Does that work for you, Dr.
That
Renee?
sounds. That sounds better. I mean, sounds good.
Okay, good. Okay. So, first off, like I said, we have different challengers coming at us. The first thing we need to do is if you think of any good military or any good person who is going off to some type of military training, what's the first type of training they go to? They go to basic training. So, the
Mhm.
things that I'm going to ask you about are really rather basic. Like I said, people may not think about all of them at one time, but
Mhm.
these are all factors that we need to make sure are covered to make sure that we have the fortress around our family so that our family can be the winners and the last one standing. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. And let me say, in order to prepare for this, um, the question is, if we look at what combat really is war. That is almost tactical training that we have to get ready for. Any type of action that the opponent has, we need an equal, opposite, and more powerful reaction to overcome that. And so some of the things that we're gonna undergo is situational training. So a lot of people don't think about things until they are in that actual situation. But in this virtual game, we're going to put ourselves there so that we can start thinking about some different ways that we may need to go back and make sure our family is protected. So, situational training, we have to learn to survive. So, not just survive, but really we have to learn to thrive as well. We also need to get fit. So, I know you, Dr. Renee, you are avid, gym goer, and you know the value of fitness. So, financially fit as well as health wise fit is just as important. So, also, we need to practice mindfulness. So, making sure that, okay, we thought about if this was to happen, because how many times have we thought we had just about every situation taken care of, but that one thing came out of the blue, and it's like, well, who would have thought that that would have happened? So, we want to make sure that we're mindful about that too. Also, we want to make sure all of our matters are in order. So we need a written plan. We don't need to just, oh, I kind of have a few things and just hope it shakes out. No, you and your family lineage is on the line here. So we're going to get into the game now. So,
Okay.
all right, your first opponent. So, coming to the stage, imagine you have all these people in the arena standing up, cheering for you. They're wanting you to win, and you walk out, and the first opponent that you have is, let's say, making money in general. Let's say making money passively. So, Dr. Renee, I'm going to ask you if you have, I don't know, I'm going to ask you if you have some of these things in place or not. And if you do have it in place, you give yourself a point. If you do not have it in place, you give your opponent a point. So, you'll have to keep up with it. And I trust you to be honest. So we'll go from there. So, Dr. Renee, do you have any ways of making money passively
Yes.
right now? Okay. Okay. You care to share maybe one way that you already have?
Well, so the compound interest account
Mhm.
would allow you to make passive income.
Yes, yes. So very important. Compound interest. And for just as a review, for those of you, compound interest may sound kind of familiar. Albert Einstein talked about that a long time ago, saying that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, but he who does not pays it. So if you're not earning compound interest, you're paying it. So think about it as a clock that always ticks. It never stops going. So if something is, if you have compound interest, your money is always going. It's always going and growing. But if your money is not growing, we have an issue here. So yes, the compound interest. See, you get a check that most people don't have. They don't have that check mark in their place. So that's great for you, Dr. Renee. So
So
also,
I should get two checks. I should get two checks.
you get two. What's the second one from? Look.
Because you just said most people don't have it, so I'm just giving myself
Okay,
an extra.
beloved. Okay. Look, give you that. I'll let you get 2 checks. And look, y'all out here on the other side, out in Radio Land. Look, I need you to also go along with us and put a check by what you have and what you don't have. Like I said, right now, this is for fun. But in life, we are in a real life combat game for our finances and for our family. So that's the first one. And you got that one. So that's great. So our next department is the stock market. Most people, if they look at the stock market, even if you don't know anything about the market, if something's going up, somebody somewhere is making money. These companies, the stock market in general is making money. But whenever the market pulls back, like how it is now, and I don't know if y'all have noticed how much the market has pulled back. We've had some really red days, and people don't realize if you have money tied to the market in some type of way. So whether you have a 401k, whether you have a mutual fund, whether you have an IRA, whether you just do stocks in general, you lost money. And I will say, a lot of what we do is about education. I can't tell you how many people that I've met with who genuinely, when we talk about a 401k, they thought they just put their money over there. They didn't realize that their 401ks even went down or could go down. So, Dr. Renee, is the question. Do you have any kind of way to shield yourself? Well, first of all, do you have any kind of way to shield yourself from market loss?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you use to do that?
My compound interest account.
Okay. Well, look, you get a second one. That now I gave you a bonus for the first one, but of course, with this, yes, we definitely want to make sure that we have that compound interest account. A lot of people don't realize there are certain accounts where when your money goes up, that's amazing. Your money is actually growing. But what happens when the market pulls back? Most people lose. But not Dr. Renee here. Her money locks in place. And so we want to be able to keep every single dollar that we can. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay. All right. So look, you are so far, you are ahead, but look, we have more. We have more contenders coming for you. So don't worry. Now, let me ask you, what about, do you have any way to limit taxes? Of course, taxes is something we don't necessarily want to deal with. Taxes makes the world go round, but still, we want to pay the least amount in taxes possible. So, what about your taxes in real life? Do you have any way to actually do you have any way of shielding yourself from paying more taxes right now?
Yes.
Okay. What you got? What you got, Steve?
So, I have my compound interest account.
Yes. Well, look, like I said, you are steps ahead. You are steps ahead, but yes, that is one thing that we definitely want to pay attention to. We want to pay the least amount in taxes possible. I kind of point out to people, a lot of the complaint is with wealthier individuals, especially like the top 1%. You got your Jeff Bezos, you got your Elon Musk, you have your Warren Buffett, you also have all kinds of people who are super wealthy. Tony Robbins, Ed Mylett, even Grant Cardone. That is the thing. They make sure that they pay the least amount in taxes possible. People complain that, okay, it's not fair. They have way more money than us. But honestly, they are playing a game that you know nothing about. And it's pretty much impossible for you to win at a game that you don't know the rules or that you don't even know is going on. So, in order to really make sure that we're good to go, we need to get in the game. And
Right.
there's ways that you can do that. And of course, we're in that game now. So, we're here to help other people make sure that they're good and that, they know the game as well. So,
Right.
look, kudos to you for that one. So, now that, okay, I mentioned taxes now. So, what about taxes after now? Death can be a little touchy, but we all have to go that way, right? Um, do you have any way to limit taxes in death? Now, the first question was limit taxes right now in life, but what about limit taxes in death? Do you have a
Yeah,
way to help your family with that?
I do.
Okay,
Through
what you got?
my compound interest account does that for me. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather, so if I'm sniffing,
No. I was just like, I'm over here, wow, because like you out here, just knocking these opponents off one after the other. So yes, there are ways that look, we need to think about our family after we pass. How cool would it be for them to be able to get money or be able to have a way to sustain themselves and they pay the least amount in taxes possible? And the money that we have is also passed on tax free. And that's huge. Having a large sum of money paid to you tax free is huge. A lot of people don't realize, if you have an account that is subject to tax, when you go to get it, the government will get to take anywhere between 25 to 43% of your money. Let that sink in. 25 to 43%. If you really want to understand or you want to help children understand what that really means, or even adults, get the best dessert that you ever had, or the best, I don't know, let's say ice cream sundae that you ever had, or even banana split. And you go, let me eat a third of it first. Let me eat a third, and then I'm gonna turn around and take another little fourth of it and then give it back to you. Most people, if I had done that, they'd be like, I don't want this now. Like, you've been eating out of it, like you eating the majority of it. I don't really want it now. But when it comes to our money, of course we want it. So we want to make sure that we are, like I said, that we are protected and that our money's protected. So
right.
kudos to you, Dr. Renee. Look, you are on top of it. Now, I know, here's the next question. I know that your children are grown. You still have one child in college, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you have one child in college. So financial aid is a very, very relevant subject to you. So, just as a question, do you have any way that you could help your child qualify for financial aid now?
Of
And let me know
course.
if the question isn't plain.
Yeah, I understand the question.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What do you have?
Yes. My compound interest account.
I tell you what, yes, your compound interest account. So most people don't know that, look, wealthy people still qualify for financial aid and they're able to do that legally. Now, how do they do that? One way that I characterize accounts, traditional financial advisors will manage money. That's what they do. Your account, will go up and down at some point. The moment it goes up and down at least one time, it's labeled as an investment. If it's labeled as an investment, that then allows the government to say, yeah, now we got our nails into them. You know, as soon as they go to get it, we can get that 25 to 43%. That's great. But what if I was to tell you wealthy people have an account where their money only goes up? They only get the good stuff. They don't have the drawbacks. They don't have all the other rigmarole. And their money gets to grow with compound interest. And because it does not pull back, the account only goes up, it doesn't trigger the investment word. If that investment word is not triggered, guess what? Now that money gets to grow tax free. How crazy is that? That you can have an account where your money is growing by compound interest and you don't have to report it as income. So, does it make sense why a lot of them would have the majority of their money over there? Their money is going to work for them harder than it would if they were going to work by themselves. So they make their money go to work. And then when it's time for school, for financial aid, they get to look like, oh wow, my child is in need too. You know, we need money. We don't have money. And it could look like they really don't, but they could have 3 million. They could have millions of dollars sitting over there, but they are playing the game. And so we want to make sure we bring the game and not only know the game, but be able to play it way better than they ever did. So, like I said, this is just a little tactical training. Like I said, right now, Dr. Renee is in the ring, though. You know, she's still trying to, beat off all of her opponents. But everybody else, if you're on the sidelines, like I said, we just need to make sure that we prepare ourselves. So the next question, good job, Dr. Renee. All right. So what about lawsuits? What about if somebody just said, you know what, Dr. Renee runs that financial empire over there, and I know she has some money. She owes me $10, but I'm going to file a suit saying that she owes me $10,000. If someone goes to file a suit, you can't just blow it off. Like, you can't just be like, oh, this is invalid. No, you have to prove your innocence. So a lot of that money, can end up going to lawyers, can end up going to the court system. So, Dr. Renee, do you have any way to help prevent yourself from lawsuits now?
I do.
Okay, what you got? What you got? A little legal shield? What you got, girl?
So I have my compound interest account that protects me against lawsuits.
Okay. Yes. So look, y'all, as another little stipulation, one of the tax codes that goes to cover this account protects you from lawsuits. That means if people have the majority of their money over there, think about us, but let alone the super wealthy. These people are probably recognized everywhere. And I mean, they probably have, if they have a restaurant, they probably have little slips and falls where people think, okay, I'm going to come up on some money. And they have insurance maybe for that. But if someone really tried to sue them for the bulk of their money, they couldn't get it because it is actually protected by the IRS codes. Any other account that you would have out here, you are out here on a limb. I mean, you don't have any protection whatsoever. You actually, those same tax codes are being used against you. But here you get to fight fire with fire. And we can use those same tax codes that they tried to use against us back on them. So we get to put things in our favor. So I love that. So congratulations to you too. You know how many points you have so far?
About 30.
Okay, yeah. About 30. So okay. All right. So this one might be kind of similar, but it is different. So what about probate? That's your next opponent. So you have probate court. There's somebody, after you pass, somebody wants a portion somewhere. Somebody is crying foul and want to take you to probate court. Do you have anything to protect you against probate?
I do.
Okay, what you got?
So I have my compound interest account.
Well, I tell you what, girl, the end all be all right there. Yes. So that same idea of protecting you against lawsuits now, we want to protect you against probate later, because there's still financial thieves out here who want to come for what you have. We talked about before, what was it, Chadwick Boseman? How after he passed, sadly enough, he made tons of money in acting and in Hollywood. Yet when he left this earth, his estate went through probate. And I mean, his wife ended up losing more than 2/3 of how much money they originally had. And that's a big deal. Like I said, this lady, she probably relied on Chadwick for quite a bit. And to just have a good portion of your money gone out the window just because somebody wants to take you to court it's something wrong with that. But unfortunately, that is the environment we live in. So all we can do is really just try to protect it. Also, we mentioned before how Prince's estate went through probate as well. So a lot of money was lost on that front. So we want to make sure that our money is sold up. Look, we care about our loved ones. We care about our family. We want them to thrive. We don't want their money just being shot to the wind. So we need to make sure, as good stewards, that we have all of these things taken care of and put into place to make sure our family is good to go. So look, congratulations. You are rocking and rolling. We still have some opponents though.
Okay.
So on the next one, how about, what do you have to pass on legacy? When I say legacy, I mean real legacy. I'm not talking about I got just enough to bury me. I'm talking about pass on. Here's a coin, several coins for you to live off of, even though I'm not here. Do you have that in place?
Yes.
Okay, what you have?
My compound interest account.
Girl, you shooting with a fire pistol, honey. I'm here for it. So yes, the compound interest account offers that as well. We want to make sure we pass on legacy. A lot of people think insurance is lackluster, but here, wealthy people don't think that, because you know what? That is going to help keep us wealthy in addition to what I'm doing. So part of this account adds life insurance in the form of legacy tied to it. Now, this is a protection mechanism to make sure that every single dollar that we put in, plus every single dollar that grew off this compound interest, and that's going to be real nice. Also, every dollar that grew off the upside of the market, because we still riding the market up. We're not riding it down. We just riding it up. All of that money, in addition to the life insurance portion, is passed down to your family totally tax free. Tax free. That means that nobody can get their hands on it. I don't care if anybody tries to sue you. You have go to probate court, lawsuits. They can try to take a lot of things, but they cannot take what's in this account. They also cannot take the legacy portion. And let me say, when we're talking legacy, I'm not talking about, little $25,000 here, whatever the case. Don't get me wrong, that's a good amount of money. But as far as legacy, we want to pass on some money. The accounts that we help people with the compound interest accounts, the legacy benefit starts at $100,000, but it can go up as far as you want it. I've seen accounts with $1 million, $3 million. I have seen 100 million. And if you have the money to support that, you can do that. So, like I said, we want to get used to passing on legacy and not just, just enough to bury me. So, kudos to you. You look, you still fighting well out here. Okay, so let me ask you, this is going to be a little different. Earlier, I asked you about taxes. I asked you about taxes now. I asked you about taxes in death. But saying that, we do still, you know, in life have to take care of some form of tax, whether it's state tax, federal tax, whatever. What do you have in place that is tax advantaged? Do you have any accounts that are tax advantaged?
Hmm. My compound interest account.
It is, isn't it? I'll tell you what, at the time, I really wasn't even thinking about that. But yes, these accounts definitely take care of things on that front. So we want to have a tax. When I say tax advantage, we don't want to pay taxes on this money. Also, I do want to address that, a lot of people will come to me, and when I ask them if they have a tax advantage account, they'll tell me I have a Roth. A Roth is cool, but a Roth is not tax advantage. A lot of people don't realize a Roth has, a $6,000 limit, which 6,000 to put away for yourself is pretty decent, but you still have to pay taxes on the money that grew from that Roth. So why would you even want to entertain paying any extra when you can just decide how much money you want to put for yourself in this compound interest account, and you never have to worry about that? That money literally grows tax free. So that's awesome. Look, good job, sis. Okay, so here's your next opponent. This one's big. So in life, things happen. Sickness happens. And matter of fact, I'm actually going to break this down. So
Okay.
a let's say you have a critical illness that happens. Let's say you got too overwhelmed, your children were asking for too many Christmas gifts, and you just got overwhelmed. You had, heaven forbid, you had a stroke or a heart attack. These people just asking for money I don't have. Do you have any way to protect yourself and your income if that were to happen out of the blue?
I do.
Okay.
With my compound interest account, I have living benefits.
Now that is big right there. That is big. You mean this one account has all of these different features?
Yes.
Wow. So yes, if you face a critical illness like what I just described, stroke, heart attack, any of that, yes, this compound interest account will take care of that. When I say take care of it, I mean it will offer you money. Like it will send you a check every month, and that money does not come out of your own personal money or personal bank. How cool is that? That
Very
is
cool.
bona fide income replacement. And so notice I said this was a critical illness. What about if we had something chronic that popped up? Heaven forbid, uh, came down with MS. You really don't know how fast MS is going to take heed. Is it going to be aggressive, or am I going to slowly lose my functionality? If something like that were to happen, do you have something in place?
Yes.
Okay, what do you have?
My compound interest account. It has
Yes, yes, you are exactly right. Your compound interest account. How cool is that? That if you were to develop something autoimmune wise, or just anything in general, that you'll be taken care of. So, congratulations to you on that. Now, what about a terminal illness? What about if, heaven forbid, you were diagnosed with cancer and they tell you, okay, you have less than a year to live. Do you have
Same
something?
thing. My compound interest account will take care of me.
Wow. Wow. Yes, it will. And the cool thing is, you can opt, if that were to happen, for the legacy benefit to be given to you up front before you pass. How
Right.
cool is that? We
That's
actually had a lady who was diagnosed with a terminal form of cancer, and she opted. She said, I don't want to continue these treatments. I just want to spend time with my family. Yes, give me the life insurance portion up front. And what she did was they just kind of set aside money, but they went and traveled the world. They made memories. They loved on each other. They had a good time, a good ride. And at the end of that year, this young lady passed. I mean,
Mm.
it's a tough subject. It can happen with anyone. But how awesome is it that she had the forethought and the tactical training, the situational training to think to have something put into place in case something does happen. Now, in her situation, it did happen. But like I said, in life, we can never predict what might happen. So we just need to make sure that we're protected and good to go. So good for you. Ooh,
Thank you.
okay. I got a little curveball for you. What
Okay.
happens if you were to, let's say you pull out of the driveway, you're driving along, and heaven forbid a car accident happens. Some little, 22-year-old was jamming out, rocking out, texting, driving, sipping on soda, trying to do everything at once and wasn't paying attention and hit you. And now you need treatment, you need, maybe some care at the hospital, maybe a little therapy, maybe you have trouble working or functionality. Would you have something in place for that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
My
what you
compound interest account will take care of me in the event of an accident.
You know what? It will take care of you. A lot of people don't think about little things like car accidents. They
Yeah.
happen all the time. I use Waze to get back and forth, and I can't tell you how many times Waze reroutes me because it's 3, 4, 5 accidents ahead. And so I'm like, Lord, these people can't drive. But it is something common that happens all the time. So that's great that you can think, to go ahead and have that on hand. So that is awesome. That is awesome to you. Now, all right. Let's see. We pretty much got our contenders, but I got another one for you.
Okay.
Okay. We have mentioned leveraging money. We haven't gotten a chance to get into what that means or how to do that. But
Mhm.
leveraging money is important. Leveraging money for lack of a better word, is being able to get a 2-for-1 deal or 3 things for one for that same
Mhm.
dollar. We want to make that dollar go different places so that we can acquire more. So let
Okay.
me ask you, do you have a way of leveraging your money right now?
Yes. I leverage my money through my compound interest account.
Okay. You're right, sis. So
Mhm.
yes, you can leverage money, and we're going to talk more about that a little later on. It's kind of it can be a little complicated subject, but it's definitely a conversation that you want to have, and you want to be able to do not later, but now. So you want to be able to take care of that right now. So that's awesome. Now, what about Okay. What about the next opponent, the 59 and a half rule? We're very familiar with that with 401ks and IRAs. Your money is
Mhm.
essentially locked up
Right.
for to your 59 and a half. So if you think about it, you don't want to do that. I mean, you are giving the government an interest free loan until you are 59 and a half. That's a big deal. I mean, I I don't know if y'all have really thought about that. Your money is gaining and losing, yet You can't go get it. If you do want to go get it, you face rules, regulations, fees. Like I said, the whole tax code is coming after you. So we want to be able to protect ourselves from that. So that is one of the things with this account that I know Dr. Renee had to step away, but 59 and a half rule does not come into play. And I'm pretty sure her answer was going to be, yes, she has something in place. She has compound interest account. And yes, that is part of the component of it, is that you don't have to wait until you're 59 and a half or until retirement. A lot of people don't think, even if you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you still have a good ways to go in life. Even if you were in your 60s. I was talking to a gentleman, he was talking about how he's close to retirement. He's in his 60s. Well, this account with compound interest will actually generate money for you until age 122. Yes, you heard me right. Age 122. Isn't that crazy? Like, I mean, to be 60 years old and you still have a way of your money making money for you until you are age 122. You have another 62 years that this account can produce income for you. That is bonkers. Why wouldn't you want to have that? The name of the game is making sure that you have money and that money lasts for you. The biggest issue with people wanting to retire or in retirement is that they didn't save enough money. You went to work, you worked all those years, you worked 20, 30, 40 years. And if you think about it, your retirement income is less than what it was when you were working. Yet, most people want a fulfilling retirement. They want to be able to travel, see the world, do what they want to do finally. But can you really do what you want to do if your income is limited? If you're just waiting on Social Security and whatever other little check, and don't get me wrong, get your money for sure. But for most people, when you talk to them about it, Social Security and their retirement is not enough to live off of. They can live, but they can't live the life that they want to. What if you had the forethought to put your money in this compound interest account beforehand? Even if you wanted to start at 60, this account can still create income for you until 122 or 62 more years. Think about if you're 30 years old. If you're 30, from 30 to 122, wow, that's like 92 years that this account can work for you. So, like I said, the idea is for us to start thinking about different, I would say, really different scenarios that could happen to us that could end up taking our money away. We don't want that to happen. We want our money to grow and thrive and be able to, sustain the lifestyle that we always wanted. So we do need to be able to do some things to do that. So do y'all agree?
I
All right.
agree.
Yay. So just to mention, now, okay, I still have a couple more opponents, but I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna give you three more opponents real quick.
Okay.
Now, inflation. Now,
Mhm.
inflation has been in the news because, of course, the more money you print, the more inflation is there. The more your dollar isn't worth a dollar. There was an article that came out recently that said the $10 bill is the new dollar bill. Do you have any way to combat inflation?
Yes.
Okay, what you have?
My compound interest account.
Yes, yes, yes. Your compound interest account. Now, think
Yes.
about this. Most people have regular cash sitting somewhere, whether it's in a bank, whether it's just sitting at home, or if it's even in the mattress. Cash isn't worth the same thing. We need to be able to find a way to take our cash, run it through a system so that A, we can prevent inflation. B, we have factors of making our money grow. And C, we can take that money out tax free. This compound interest account that we work with, that will definitely do it for you. So that is awesome, because inflation, most people don't have an answer for that. But inflation is a real deal enemy of our money. So that's pretty cool that you have something in place to combat that. So that's awesome. All right. So here is another one. Time freedom and money freedom. Now, think about it. Time, we may feel invincible, but time waits for no man. We only have a certain amount of time here. We want to be able to enjoy it, live the life that we wanted to. So, do you have a way of being able to get your time freedom and your money freedom?
Yes.
Okay, what do you have?
My compound interest account.
Girl, I should have known you had an answer. I should have known. So, yes, you want to be able to let your money be on autopilot while you're able to enjoy your children, your family, enjoy their soccer game, their softball game. If you want to go to their dance recital, you don't want to be thinking about, I really need to stay here for this shift. You're missing out on important family moments, just because money has us in a rat race. We go to work, and our only thing is we got to go to work for money. But money was meant to work for us. So we need to make sure that we put some things in place to make sure that our money is working for us. Exactly. All right. Drum roll. Here's the last opponent. This is, as for lack of better words, I say, this is the Cooper kind of all.
So what's the score so far? Do you know?
You probably have, you probably have about 64 to none. You probably beat out about 64 points. Okay. Look, but here's the last one. This is the biggest and the baddest of them all. Okay. In walks the IRS. Think about it. Big, lumpy out here walking. In my mind, he's Goliath. Do you have a way of combating or getting around the IRS in general?
Yes.
Okay, what do you have?
My compound interest account.
Hey, ding, 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 ding. What? You are the winner. So, yes, these IRS codes that we use actually punch the IRS right back. That same blow that they would normally give you, you can send that blow right back. Think about how a kung fu fight goes, a good kung fu fight, let's say. For every chop, there's another counter chop. It's a karate chop out here. So how cool is that we can even protect ourselves from the IRS with this? Like I said, there are 4 to 5 different tax codes that are actually intertwined in this account to protect you and your family. So that is pretty cool in and of itself, I think. So, congratulations to you. I just hear the crowd out here. They are going crazy out here. So congratulations. You are the winner. If I had a big wrestling belt of some kind, I would hand it to you. But look, how cool is that the challenger today won? And so we want to make sure that our people out here win as well. So if you don't know anything about money, if you don't know the money game, we have some treats for you. Of course, we do one-on-one consultations. We also do group talks. We have some that are coming up. So if anyone has a group that they want us to come speak to, we can gladly do that. Let me tell you, the only crime out here is not knowing. Because you have us that can inform you, and we will happily do that. So don't suffer, and don't suffer in silence when you don't have to. So we can help you with all of that. And Yes, as the screen says, Dr. Renee won. She won. She did outstanding. So that is awesome, and we want to be able to help our people out there in Radio Land. To be able to do an outstanding job with their finances and their family. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, it is important. You may have a significant other that may say, "Oh, we can hold off on that for now." But there's a saying out here that, these accounts or even life insurance may not be important to the wife, but if you ask the widow, it's a whole different ball game. So make sure that these things are protected. If you, like I said, love your family, which I'm sure you do, these are simple things that can be done. So look, Dr. Renee, let the people know where they can reach you if they want a one-on-one consult or if they need some type of group presentation or church or anything like that. Let us know where we can find you.
Okay, so you can reach me at 855 937 6742. 855-937-6742. And my address is 3661 Brainerd Road, Midtown Insurance, Chattanooga, Tennessee, 37411.
Okay, awesome. And also, of course, I'm Dr. Bernica. You can reach me at 1-833-837-6352. Again, that is 1-833-837-6352. That's my office number. You can reach me at any point. I'm on Facebook. I have a disclaimer on my page that my original page was hacked. So if you see someone out here and they're talking about Cash App and scamming, that's not my page. But if you see the disclaimer on my page and a whole bunch of TikToks and videos, then you have the right person. So feel free to message me, DM me. I promise you I will get back with you. And Dr. Renee and I are excited to be doing some community outreach. We are going to be visiting some churches soon, and we're going to let you all know how, if you want to come, how you can get tickets, you can get some food on your stomach, and just come learn about finances. And how cool is that? Food and finance. You really can't go wrong with that. So
I'm hungry now.
well, look, you can get you some breakfast in just a little bit. But yes, y'all know where to reach us. And look, we have fun on this show every week, just kind of talking about things that people need to know. So let me tell you, you can do this. So we are wrapping up the show. I know time flies. We had a couple more opponents, but I'm telling you, Dr. Renee was so on point. I'm pretty sure she would have picked them all off. So she did a great job. She is the winner on today. And I have to find a little prize for you of some kind.
Okay, that's fine.
So yes, y'all. So thank you for joining us today. And thank you for being our contender in the hot seat, Dr. Renee.
Well, you're welcome. I hate that I'm not feeling my best today, but maybe next week I'll be feeling a whole lot better.
Well, you can't tell. You can't tell. So I hope you get to feeling better too and get you some rest and just kind of relax. But yeah, y'all. So that's gonna wrap our show. And so until next week when we get to chit chat about some more money, we'll see y'all then. So bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Have a good day.